The WooSox get set for Game 2 of this 9-game homestand and Game 4 of this 6-game series against the Syracuse Mets as we welcome you in to Polar Park and the pregame show presented by Workers Credit Union. Alongside Jim Kane, I'm Laura Stickles. And Jim, the WooSox probably didn't have the 4th of July celebration that they were hoping for last night in Polar Park. But when you look at the second half in its entirety, the WooSox have gotten off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, no question about it, Laura. I think yesterday was certainly just a blip in the radar for this team, but I think we have to give some credit to the Syracuse Mets. I mean, 9-1, that's a pretty convincing victory. But the offense was on full display for this team. And this was a team that, going into last night, was tied with Las Vegas for the most home runs in all of minor league baseball. Not only the International League, the PCL, AAA, all of minor league baseball. This is a really good team. And Joey Lucchese really shut down this WooSox offense last night over 7 very strong innings. So I think we have to give credit where credit is due. Lucchese was terrific. And it's only one game, as you mentioned. And the WooSox, I think, so far over the first couple of weeks of this second half have shown that this is a team that is certainly poised, as currently constituted. If they can stick together, they're going to be right in it to the very end in terms of the IL postseason race.
Yeah, the WooSox have definitely built off some momentum from the end of that first half, and they're currently 5-4 right now as we look at the International League standings. Rochester currently jumping out to an early lead, and Lehigh Valley, after finishing 9th in the first half, just sitting a game behind first. Also, today's opponent in Syracuse just above Worcester with a 6-4 record, but the WooSox have a game in hand, so there's an opportunity here for them to flip the standings. And the WooSox currently tied with Charlotte in 4th with a 5-4 record. So not a bad start to the second half. And WooSox manager Chad Tracy spoke with the media yesterday about what he's thought of the team since turning the page.
We'll see. I mean, we're certainly, obviously, we're swinging the bat incredibly well. We're still getting good starts. We're definitely, we came out of the gates well. I'll put it that way. We played as the 2 best teams in our division to start. You know, coming off after the first 75, you're going to start the second half. It's like, all right, new half, everybody's 0-0. It's like, all right, we're going to have to kind of earn it here because the 2 teams we're playing are the best 2 teams in our division in the first half. So to go out on the road to start and play those teams and grab 5 out of the 8 was good, and we had a chance to win 2 others. I was really, really happy with the way we played on the road. We very easily could have gone 7-1 on that trip. Had a chance to win. We swung the bats really, really, really well. I think we've kind of vaulted all the way to like number 1 in the league in hitting. We've always been getting on base, so it's been good here to start the second half.
Yeah, it has been a really good start to the second half, but the bats really have been there since the beginning. As we take a look at some team offensive numbers for the season, the WooSox currently lead the International League in on-base percentage and OPS and are second in batting average. And Chase Mydroth, Nick Sogard, and Nico Cavadas, they're a big reason why. Yeah,
they really are, Laura. I mean, the 1-2 combo at the top of Chase Mydroth and Nick Sogard, you talk about pitches seen, the on-base ability of these guys. They've been fantastic. And what I think is very interesting about the current composition of this WooSox team, Laura, is that you've got a guy like Nico Cavadas, as you just mentioned. He's hitting in the bottom third of the order. I mean, we've seen him in the 7 spot, the 8 spot to start the second half. You're talking about a guy in the top 10 in walks, in on-base percentage, and in OPS. He's the team leader in home runs, and he's hitting near the bottom of the order. If that's not depth and length in your lineup, then I don't know what is. And, you know, I think we need to enjoy what we have right now as followers of the WooSox, as WooSox fans. This team is very talented, and hey, let's ride this wave as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, well, you bring up a good point. It really does seem like 1 through 9, especially in the past month or so, have really just been stringing together some really great at-bats. So tons of offensive depth here in this first half leading into the second half.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think the future's only going to get brighter, right? There's the impending arrivals of the guys like Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, and Kyle Teal. We don't know when that's going to happen. We presume it's going to be soon. And when it does happen, I think it's going to make Chad Tracy's job a whole heck of a lot harder. It's already hard as it is to try to mix and match and get everybody playing time here with how well everyone's swinging it. And it's going to be, let's say, a luxury and a good problem to have.
Yeah, we've gotten a little preview so far with Nick York. He's definitely been exciting to watch, so it's going to be exciting the rest of the way. Now, the WooSox, they didn't get the result that they wanted yesterday, but all eyes were on Boston down in Miami as they were going for the series sweep over the Marlins. And looking ahead into this series, this was a series that the Red Sox really wanted to take advantage of, especially when you look at the season that Miami has been having this year. And the WooSox did that easily the first 2 games, but they had to fight for it last night. It went to extra innings, and 2 WooSox alums came up really big.
Yeah, they really did. And I'd even throw in Jaron Duran into that mix as well, nabbing a runner at the plate to keep the game tied and send the game into extra innings. I'd say it was the wildest game the Red Sox have played all season, Laura. We had Enmanuel Valdez picking up a big hit, and then Cedon Rafaela adding on. I mean, we act like proud parents when we see these guys perform and come through in clutch situations for the Red Sox and Alex Cora. A season high 8 games over 500 now. Red Sox are rolling, and now you're talking about a big series this weekend in the Bronx against the Yankees. And of course, the Red Sox took 2 out of 3 from that team a few weeks ago at Fenway, and we'll see what the rematch has in store this weekend.
Yeah, there were no post-game fireworks in Miami because it was a day game, but they got to see some as they were flying into New York from 15,000 feet, so definitely a good way to celebrate. Now, the WooSox are hoping to flip the script, and they'll be looking to Grant Gambrell on the mound. Opposite him will be Tyler McGill for Syracuse.
Well, Grant Gambrell, a couple of tough starts back-to-back, and he would be the first one to tell you that, not getting through a 4th inning, but we have seen the swing and miss ability from this guy all season long. A guy who had a terrific month of May, was up and down a bit in the month of June, and let's see if he can bounce back against what is a very dangerous Syracuse team.
Well, it's going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss it, so stay right here. We've got Syracuse WooSox coming up right after this.
The WooSox pregame show on NESN is presented by Workers Credit Union.